what about these signs? Are they all good now?
Still strongly out of sync. Stage gamma disalignment.
What?
You heard me.
Tell me about the machines you saw.
Weird stuff. Specialised. There was a data processor and some sort of long-wave machinery. Wires going into water. Gives off a spy sign. Or some fucked up Samaran science sign. You know.
Sounds like they're adding electricity to the water supply. Or into that pool or whatever.
The People's Republic of Samara is a product of Revachel's sister revolution on the Grand Isola. It's known as a severely degenerated rogue state.
So you think it's real?
Most of it doesn't exist. But there's also stuff that isn't allowed to exist. Because the moralists think it's too dangerous for the plebs. Psionic powers, pale-related diseases, pretenders pretending to be human, folk rights, that kind of stuff.
So why are you called
The
Noid?
hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law at this moment.
He picks up some sort of a widget.
It's not easy to reach a harmonic resonance of signs without some adjustment.
Does this mean we need sign matching?
Yes, further sign matching would do good for us. One way to achieve this will be by getting us into
Alright,
the
we'll
church.
get in the church. Alright, cool. Alright, we gotta talk to
A
the
young
egg.
man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Welshi tape player.
Harman Welshi,
nodding
let's
along
go.
to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secret.
Hardcore!
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 But is it?
Yeah!
This young man adds a capital G before the H in his yegs and args. This produces a guttural Gutvaldian accent. and makes him sound more animal, more in it. Or maybe it's not Gutvaldian. Maybe it's Oranese. Probably an homage to Oranje, where Arno van Eyck is from, judging by his name. Could you be listening to an Arno van Eyck creation right now?
So this is the famous Van Eyck I'm hearing?
You know about him?
He moves his mouth, but sound doesn't come out. His eyes are the size of saucers. Looks like you rendered him speechless.
You know Van Eyck?
Yeah, I'm a major Van Eyck head.
Wow.
The skinny wraith looks at you with some disbelief.
So am I! So am I!
He begins to shake his head so everyone would understand.
Oh, is that why they call you Egghead? Because
Egghead to the mega! The K became the G! The boy became the man! The Advent?
Could there have been a right way out
Yes!
of this garden of forking paths, you think?
I don't know, but okay, the egghead puzzle. There has to be some way to talk to this person, you just haven't found it yet. What if you just try again, find your way out of this maze of things to say? Noid doesn't want to talk to you, the signs are not in sync. Guess you need to help him out, so once we clear out the church, we should be better. And we can talk to Egghead by then too. Let's go. I'm not going to stream too late tonight. This is a bonus stream. I'm already tired. Alright, what's this? We have to keep an eye out for 2200. That's when we have to meet those people. More tribalistic markings. This post is covered by little humanoids. A pole screwed into the ice keeps the tent erect. Trash from some unending party. This is someone's home away from home, just like yours.
A pane of Eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger
Push
grip,
it.
the pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
Go. Bite. There we go. Perfect. Wait, hold on. Let's go talk to the lady again. Wait, let's go over here. Painted with pastels, someone is trying to bring cheer into the world. Let's chat with her again.
The shaggy-haired girl kneels.
Why
in
is my
sea
hat
ice.
different?
She looks up.
So you talked to my associates, right?
I'll help
Are
you.
gonna Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? We've been waiting for weeks here.
Your associates tried to use me to set up a drug lab.
I did, and I'm sorry. For what it's worth, which isn't much.
This is why I didn't go into the town. Typical delinquency.
You don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine are idiots, but they're mine. I tried to talk Andre out of it. I even tried not to lie to you.
Indeed. She merely tried to omit the truth instead.
Instead, you omitted the truth.
I know, but I knew you'd see through their plan too. I'm not an idiot. I should have been able to control them, and I will in the future. I promise. May I ask, what did you tell them?
Do what you will with your dance club, just don't know drugs.
Thank you. I'll get them under wraps, I promise.
The others told me you went inside the church. What did you see?
Oh, that. You're not going to believe me. There's no point in me telling you.
Just tell me.
She's less prone to blurt it out, crab man, than the others.
We'll see. Go ahead and tell me.
I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother. You know, strange old clothes. Had this absent
You're all wearing
expression,
strange
didn't
old
say
clothes.
anything, just stood still.
Good.
And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down like a crab. Down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor. Then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story.
You just walked out? You didn't run? You didn't sprint? You didn't scream at the top of your lungs, lady? Some dude just exorcist style climbed down a wall.
Like a crab, you say?
The lieutenant nods, his face is stone. What did this crab man look like?
It was too dark. I couldn't tell exactly.
Come on. She obviously could. She already went into detail.
Come on.
He looked like a banger, okay? He was all muscular and stuff. Had a mesh tank top. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that only
That's how I
made it
spend most of
scary
my
in a way.
days. Everyone wearing mesh tank tops and climbing down walls.
A crab and a banger?
The lieutenant raises an eyebrow.
Yes, a banger. As in a mess gang member. I know what
Gang
it sounds
banger.
like, but that's what I saw.
You're wrong, I do believe you.
Why?
Seems too ludicrous for a lie.
I guess so. Anyway, what else?
I'd like to know more about your
My
associates.
associates? I
So-
haven't got much to say about them.
Just answer the question.
Sorry. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them.
To the cops.
What about you?
Me? I'm a silver bird.
Alright, I'll ask later about
Don't know
all
what
this.
makes you think it'll be any different later, but
Alright, cool. Let's go. Let's go to that church. What's this? We gotta check back. When we set up the nightclub. Alright. Hold on. Map. So the boardwalk, we're up here to the church. So we walked up the boardwalk back there. Okay.
Heavy wooden doors.
Alright,
Carving on the door. The doors remain.
Open
the
it.
lock turns easy.
Let's go.
As you do, you hear the echo of the doomed commercial area. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church.
We got this.
As though in the heart of the city.
Let's go. It's so cold in my apartment. So cold. Wish I were a little less cold so I'd be more... A strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. This grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. This figure was added later. It's not part of the original church. The blackboard is filled with complex equations. They look recent. Something to do with radio frequencies? Two decks of reel-to-reel tapes spinning on empty. More of the forked lightning pattern you saw outside. Bark beetles? No, looks intentional. Some long forgotten style. A portable Harman Wowshy tape recorder. Is it possible it's recording something?
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
A radio computer. And it's turned on.
He seems cautious around the machine.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. Alarm systems and the like.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
Yes, but what is it?
A radio computer. We have one down at the station. No, I don't know how to operate it or what it's used for. Let's go.
This is the Ream Prefect radio computer, a model number RC7024, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible interim printer. The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Ream Civic model. Although mostly based on the same technology, the Ream Prefect is equipped with better noise attenuation circuits.
Alright, let's come back to it. Someone's siphoning electrical currents from outside onto this antenna. Take that. Alright. So what are these shoes? These ones. +1 empathy. So perception. What's empathy? Purple? Perception is yellow. Let's go with... We'll just leave it for now. Alright, what's this? A spider has spun its web around this wooden carved pillar. A bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it. Could these wires work as contact microphones?
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Wait, I think I still hear something.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it. But for the faintest of hums, it seems the sound here is detached from its source somehow, if not blotted out outright. Truly unusual. You can hardly hear your own breathing. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow. Your voice is barely audible.
What's
The
happening?
lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything?
Almost nothing.
The church just has strange acoustics, some engineering trick.
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is. Maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing on its premises.
Maybe?
Could be.
He doesn't seem entirely. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear
Perception.
completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Let's try it. Alright.
Just darkness without end. It makes your head spin. Filled with vague shapes of woodwork. There's nothing.
Officer, what are you looking at?
We failed.
You see, maybe it's possible to talk to it.
There's something hanging. Creepy! Luckily we have a crowbar to protect
Is
us.
that a man? Looks
This
more like part of the
Spider-Man.
carpentry of the building came alive and is now studying you intently. The Crab Man.
This is the police. Show yourself.
The man leans forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in Jamro. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesks in Rivershow.
Right place for what?
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing.
The
too.
ceiling climbing will
It's all very hard to square. with
make
the lieutenant's
most people
own view of
nervous.
reality. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately.
I haven't.
Lay off it already.
I'm a
Shit.
policeman.
Oh yeah, sure. You don't know anything
Nope,
about
I don't.
alcohol use.
I've been good.
You got it all under control, Way. I could smell the control all the way over here.
I'm struggling.
Not all of it. I was like you once.
Why are you
You
climbing
don't
on
know all
walls,
the
dude,
havoc
like
that
Spider-Man?
Dino is wrecking on your mind and your spirit. Necesita parar, homie.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
For some reason, I feel like you have
Don't
a point
trust
here.
me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes. This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
He sways gently on the beams, waiting for you to take it all in.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game? 'Tis not an act, my liege. Save him perchance, he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
Some ravers want to turn this place into a
The
nightclub.
ones in the tent outside, right? I see him. Think they scared of me.
Do they have a reason to be scared?
Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore.
Well, what do you think about
Why
it?
not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go.
Are you
Might
sure about
even
that?
be nice to have some company.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
Do you know where the other spooker is?
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
Viaita is grandma.
Wait, so there is another person living in the church? And it's a viejita?
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young.
Burn!
Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
And you don't know where she is?
That's what I said, Holmes.
How can you know that when you both live here?
Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
So you got nothing else to tell me.
I'm afraid not, S.A. You just have to wait until she comes back.
Or search through her radio computer.
Alright then. Cracked painted glass. Frost has flowers on the glass, obscuring the view. A figure drawn on the window, depicting a deer. So let's go look at the computer. Let's look at this crack too.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad, a dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel.
Kneel.
Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands. The world is silent, but for the creaks and cracks of the massive wooden structure behind you, it covers you from the wind outside. The ocean feels distant, its ebb and flow blocked off by the centuries-old pinewood sarcophagus around you. In the darkness, you sense her eyes on you, inspecting you with their multicolored glass, as if you're a bug under a microscope.
Open our
The
eyes.
woman looks down at you, kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye. Of what? Compassion? Remorse? She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. You.
Morning.
As that terrible word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder.
Do the same.
Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass.
This is Dolores Day. Oh, I screwed
Despite
up.
the damage you've done to yourself, the title
Click the
is
wrong thing
lodged
again.
in your hippocampus. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. The innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human
This
being
is a real
ever
person?
to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men.
When did she rule?
300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers from the continent of Muindi, she is, among other things, the innocence of inter-isolary travel and the connected world.
What else do I know?
Many things. You know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene La Navigateur, Queen of Suresnes, modern-day Sir Laclais. Also that she was gorgeous beyond beauty, draped in ancient sadness. Are you sure you want to remember this bit of historic trivia? Standing under a long, slender form like this, dwarfed,
Was she smart?
terribly, women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A simple
Gotta
grasp of
impress
matters
those
of
guys.
philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman. She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court, a court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state, a scalpel, a piercing gaze. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared an innocence, her influence was tremendous. It
Why?
was on her advice that Irene La Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale, a costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on.
Okay.
She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history.
DeLorean.
The DeLorean era.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion.
Oh,
that her
the
lungs
glowing.
started glowing in
We
her
got it.
chest. Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress.
So her, like, bosom was glowing.
That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Real Belt.
Was there something terrifying about her?
Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But
Oh?
terrifying, it's a simple word. She was bad for humanity, and you shouldn't have started thinking about her.
No, was there something bad about
You
her?
already do. Although she's often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day, constantly surrounded by her terriers. She was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged
okay.
against the Mesk state.
She
And
waterboarding
then
people?
There were the resettlement programs. The Mesk state tried to detach itself from innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Marguerite were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity. Suggesting those who fight against it are not part of humanity. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb in icons such as this. She was also blonde, the blondest woman you have ever seen, with green eyes the color of
cares?
the Basantic.
Green is
Mare
very rare, though.
interregnum.
Especially blonde with green eyes. Very
Little
rare.
is known of her Marchese husband.
Hold on, guys. I gotta.
It's as if he
Look
vanished
something up.
from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they think of her.
Sorry, guys. I was looking something up. Okay. Continue.
This subtle terror is part of her iconography.
Lieutenant Yefrater, you stood there for over 5 minutes.
He's like, you're taking too long, dude. Let's go.
What are you thinking of, if I may ask?
She's not human.
Okay. This church, the coast in general, we shouldn't linger here. This isn't a good place to get lost in. We should conclude our business and move on.
Hold on, I gotta put on my stuff. My visual calculation stuff.